But it's look, man, this is a very enjoyable atmosphere. So for a lot of folks that are thinking about, making that move to DR, whether it's full time or part time,
hurry up! Take it off! Take the watch off! I'll kill you! I'll kill you, motherfucker! Okay. Right!
And maybe it's not just DR, it could be some other place.
Right! Right!
Do it because, like I say in all my videos, the grass is greener on the other side. Recently, an American woman was in Nairobi, Kenya, and was walking on a popular street filled with many restaurants and bars on one particular night. Then, a local Kenyan told her to watch out for the group of people hanging out just ahead. Afterwards, a girl walked up to the American, wanting to shake her hand. Instead, the American puts out a fist for a fist bump. Then immediately the girl rushes her and
couldn't take it no more, so I left the matrix.
And my money just tripled. I had a good time and it cost me a little. So I found peace, tranquility, faith in my abilities.
I couldn't fake no more, so I left the matrix.
Good day, people. This is Profe Gallo with another week of Dominican news, accompanied with an expat travel story. I have 3 local stories and 1 travel story, so stay tuned.
Dímelo, profe, ¿qué lo que pasa, profe Gallo?
All right, people, this is a dope week for stories, so check it out. The first story is from El Nuevo Diario, which is a popular Spanish language media source here in the Dominican Republic. So, the Emergency Operations Center raised the red alert to 24 provinces, while the remaining 8 are on yellow alert due to the tropical storm Franklin, which is likely now Hurricane Franklin by the time you hear this. The Center of Emergency Operations reported that the provinces on red alert are Santodomingo, el Distrito Nacional, which is the national district, San Cristobal, Peravia, Barahona, San Juan, Independencia, Puertoplata, San Pedro de Macorís, La Romana, San Jose de Ocoa, Asua, Pedernales, Bajaruco, Elias Piña, Duarte, María Trinidad Sánchez, Monte Plata, La Altagracia, La Vega, Monseñor Noel, Hatamayor, Ezeibo, and Samaná. I have attached a map of the areas with the red alert, yellow alerts, and so on. Essentially, the entire country is under emergency. More to come on this event. Now, the second story is from the Associated Press, which is a U.S. news outsource. Dominican authorities announced that they are pursuing a criminal case against a plastics company based on evidence found during an investigation into a powerful explosion last week that killed at least 31 people. Police and the public ministry issued a joint statement saying that the blast occurred at a business called Vital Plast, rather than at a bakery as authorities had initially thought. The explosion occurred last week in a bustling commercial center in San Cristobal, which is a city just west of Santo Domingo. Now, the public ministry has evidence that comprises the criminal responsibility of those responsible with their actions and the cost of death of dozens of people and cost millions of dollars in loss. The ministry said it is investigating several people, but did not identify them. Out of the 31 people, only 7 of the dead have been identified. And just recently, the government said it could take up to 3 months to identify all those who were killed in the blast. In addition, an additional 59 people were injured during the blast, and the majority of them remain hospitalized. So the third story comes from Diario Libre, which is another Spanish language media source here in the Dominican Republic. An American citizen of Dominican origin was found dead with signs of violence in some bushes in the community of Constanza, which is located in the province of La Vega. The National Police identified the victim as Cristina Yolanda Brown Cordero, age 37. A man accused of the crime is an American citizen of Dominican origin and just turned himself into the police. The medical examiner who performed the examination certified that the cause of death was mechanical asphyxia by hanging, and a contused blow to the victim's head was also observed. The motives that led to the alleged murderer to commit the crime are still unknown. However, witnesses reported that Guzman Heredia, the accused, had threatened the victim after she caught him burglarizing her home. Brown Cordero was born in the United States to a Dominican mother and had lived in Constanza for many years. Now, this last story, as always, is an expat story. A couple of foreign women took a bus from Mombasa, Kenya to Nairobi, Kenya, which ended up being a longer trip than expected. They got to the hotel around midnight. They were hungry, couldn't really sleep, so they walked down the main street and noticed that there were lots of shops, but many of the shops were closed. The three guys came up to them and asked to see their passport. She said she doesn't have it. Then the guy puts one for her wrist in handcuffs and said that if you don't have your passport, we'll have to take you to the police station. They walked for like 10 minutes on the main street and no one said anything. The people didn't do anything. I mean, again, many of the shops on the street was closed, but there were still a lot of places open. And the American woman, she was hungry and she really was pleading with the guy, hey, let's just go to the police station. But after a while, she felt like the guy was bluffing. Eventually, a person came up to them and talked to them, and then they were let go. A few minutes later, a car with a high beam approached the group of American women. And as the American women walked by, one of the guys in the car asked to see their passport. The women maintained a safe distance from them, and they talked, which eventually became an argument. These guys claimed to be police, and they even showed the woman an ID. It was obviously fake, but she wasn't too sure. I mean, she's not Kenyan, so she wasn't too sure, but she had an idea that it could have been fake. The American woman, she was really angry, right? Because she felt like, okay, now for the second time, she's getting scammed again by someone who's claiming to be police or acting like they have some sort of police authority. And she explained to the guy that, hey, I don't have my passport, but if you want to come and get it, go to my hotel and I'll get it for you. After they started walking towards their hotel, they noticed that the guy was not following them. Lastly, the group of women were walking down the street. Now, this is just 12 or so hours after this incident happened, and this is afternoon time now. They're walking down the street, and a local Kenyan said to them, hey, watch out for the group of people hanging on the corner. Afterwards, they're walking, and a girl walks up to them and asks to shake the woman's hand. The American woman instead put up a fist for a fist bump. And immediately, the girl starts rushing her and trying to get her hands in her pockets, but she can't quite do it because the pockets are pants with a zipper. Then, as the American woman shoved her off, the girl walks away shouting, help, 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 help. And eventually a local security guard came out the bar and came to the aid of the American women. And then the American woman told him the situation, what was going on, and actually walked with the American women to the hotel. That's such a crazy story. When I first heard the story of this American woman It's a couple women, right? It's two of them traveling together. But an American woman, within a less than 24-hour period, she was almost robbed 3 times. 3 times. This is an incredible story. The moral of the story is be aware of common scams of the place you're going to visit. Even if you're a seasoned expats or seasoned travelers like these girls, when you're going to a new place, you always want to be aware of the common scams of that place. Second, always be aware of your surroundings. Always be aware of your environment. And third, never get distracted. Sometimes it's easy to get distracted when you're amongst a big group of people or a small group of people when your focus is elsewhere, or it's easy to get distracted when you are maybe drunk or tipsy. Just be safe, be careful. And that's all I got, mi gente. Thank you for tuning in, Profe Gallo, with this week's news in the Dominican Republic. Come back for more news next week. Peace.